Yo, my people.
We are back!
Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Patana FC. We are within. And yes, got a lot of updates that I didn't catch up on Friday, guys. Apologies if I'm late. I'm just going to brief through them before we get into the title and why I'm going to speak on 3 lions from the 3 lions. So let's get it, y'all. So as a Chelsea fan, I think you need to know, or at least recognize to some degree, that every player that went out on loan was just being shipped out. And those players are unlikely to ever come back to Chelsea. I think we can start with one that no one's really going to mention, in Tino Anjorin, 22-year-old winger / striker / cam. He's gone to Empoli and we wish him farewell. Didn't do much for Chelsea, got a bit of minutes under Lampard, but nothing thereafter. And then we jump onto the Cobham boys that sort of took our hearts to some degree. Armando Broja, Trevor Chalobah, loan spells or loan moves. It looks like Armando Broja actually pushed for the move, guys. He wanted to leave Stamford Bridge and he's gone on loan, but unlikely to ever play for us. And Broja, some of us would have hoped that his career would have gone much better than it did, but unfortunately the boy's gone. Trevor Chalobah, treated unfairly. For those of us that don't know, Trevor Chalobah was part of Chelsea's first team setup for at least 6 years. 6 years, guys, and disrespectfully shunned out, similar to Conor Gallagher. And the only reason I'm actually mentioning these guys is because look how quickly we are forgetting Conor Gallagher. We've forgotten about him, really. Some of us might miss him as the season goes along. We're gonna miss Chalobah as well. We even have a right-back crisis right now, and we don't have a proper backup, and Chalobah could have been an option. So farewell to Chalobah, and I think from the Chelsea fans at least, we understand and we have sympathy to his departure. We move Raheem Sterling. Razzmatazz is about to complete. I think after this it's Man United, then Spurs, but he's at Arsenal now. For his family, I understand they don't have to move out of London. It's convenient. Mikel Arteta being open to taking him in and being open to the move entirely. I think it's convenient for Sterling, and I'm not going to say I hope he cooks for Arsenal, but I mean for him as a player, at least he has somewhere where he's guaranteed minutes after the way that Enzo Maresca publicly stated that he's not in the plans. Fair enough. Sterling, I surprisingly saw that he's only scored about 14 goals. Is that true? Like, did Sterling only score 14 goals for Chelsea, guys? That is insane. In 59 appearances, 2 years or so with us, high wages, and I think this is goodbye to Sterling, honestly. Another one that's interesting, Petrovic officially on loan at Strasbourg, and Todd Bowley tried to call Todd Bowley to sell David Washington to Strasbourg, and the deal collapsed. That's irony and weird, really. But David Washington continues to suffer. One of the 2 players that we bought from Santos in Brazil. The other player that we bought from Santos, also another 19-year-old, will now be playing with Cristiano Ronaldo. Angelo Gabriel signed for Chelsea just about a year ago, a year and some change, and he's been shipped on. This transfer concerns me, guys, because I'm looking at Esteval Willian, I'm looking at Kendry Paez, I'm looking at Omari Hutchinson, Omari Kellyman, forgive me, a few more other young prospects. And I thought these players would at least be at Chelsea for 3-4 years, developing, possibly bringing trophies, and then being sold. But it seems as soon as a profit margin is reached, Chelsea can sell you. I mean, Angelo Gabriel, not that we were all thinking he would make it as a right winger at Chelsea, but to be sold this early into his Chelsea career without even having played for Chelsea really, just his Strasbourg games gaining him some reputation. Chelsea are doing business. It's really more intense than we thought. It really is. I mean, now look at all the wingers that are still at Chelsea, and you think the end of this season, not everyone is safe. Mudryk, Sancho. Look at us talking about Sancho not being safe already. Mudryk, Sancho, Neto, Madueke, will they all be at Chelsea come the end of the season? Or the start of next season, rather? We don't know, guys.
It's a free country.
Jadon Sancho is a Chelsea player on loan from Manchester United and is likely to become our player permanently because there's an obligation to buy Jadon Sancho for 20 million for Chelsea. That's not a heavy fee. So here we go. Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, I think, prefers the right wing. At Dortmund, he shined a bit more on the right wing. But I think with Chelsea's current roster of players, I believe Jadon Sancho will be deployed as a left winger for him to cut onto his stronger right foot and take shots on target. I think Pedro Neto now needs to be deployed back at right wing because he's a left-footed player similar to Noni Madueke. And then on the left side, we'll have Jadon Sancho versus Mykhailo Mudryk for competition. Now, Cole Palmer seems to be our number 10, so he becomes the key figure. And I think for Maresca's system to work, guys, we need to aim to have Cole Palmer scoring the most goals. Cole Palmer has the decision-making ability to know when to pass and create the chance for the winger. But the wingers, Sancho and Madueke, if we're looking at the three Lions wingers, Sancho and Madueke need to look back for Palmer in every instance. We've learned that in Maresca's system, and I'm going to sound like a broken record here, in Maresca's system, back four, that becomes a back three when one fullback or one of the fullbacks drifts into midfield. More recently, we're seeing Gusto do it a bit more. So if Gusto moves into midfield, we become a back three. Cucurella might join in midfield to increase numbers in certain moments. But one thing we don't have in Maresca's system, the wing backs will join the midfield. They won't flank beyond the wingers to help and provide that option. So the wingers are encouraged to go at players. Our wingers are encouraged to have the first instinct of dribbling past a fullback of the opposition. So Noni Madueke, you will see Enzo Maresca saying, yeah, go for him. And Noni Madueke is encouraged to dribble past at least one man. Sancho loves to do the same thing instinctively. So should they beat their first man, now they draw another player to come and defend against them. In that moment, it's about making that decision. Where's Jackson? Where's Palmer? On both sides, Noni Madueke looking up, Jadon Sancho looking up. And I think with options in the box, Enzo Fernandez might run forward and join the attack. We have to increase the options in the 18 to give our wingers options once they do that side of the job. Like we said, we won't have another option behind the winger. So when the winger receives the ball along the flanks, they need to drive at players. Jadon Sancho is that guy. Now it's about the dribble success rate. Dribble success rate, because we know, for example, Mykhailo Mudryk's, it's questionable. Jadon Sancho, he's a bit better. Noni Madueke, certain games, yes. Against the low blocks, a bit more difficult for him. Pedro Neto wants to do the same thing. And Pedro Neto on the left wing has been looking to cut back way too many times. We need to get him onto the foot where he wants to shoot now. He's a good finisher. Let's consider those things. Of course, no space for Joao Felix in my analysis of Jadon Sancho in our team. But I feel Sancho as a left winger, he brings something to the team that we didn't have on the left wing, that Mykhailo Mudryk has been failing to produce, that Neto can't give us because Neto's a left-footed player who wants to cut back every time. But we need to start getting beyond fullbacks now. We need to start dribbling past players. We have the men now. We have a good set of wingers, I believe, at Chelsea. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Got a bit of a flu, so the voice might be funny, groggy. But yes, I think Jadon Sancho, we might get the best out of him. And it might be the best Sancho in England. Because the best of Sancho was in Germany. But we move. Let me know your thoughts. Let's get it, y'all.